Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Lighting changed on me. My eyes on the road, so don't worry about that. Wanted to pop in. I'm headed home. Had to pick up some food for the family. But want to talk to you because something been on my spirit, and I did a 90-minute, almost 100-minute video on live on Instagram. And I get on there, I get to going, the spirit get to going, and I could be on there forever. But I go ahead and shut it on down, got on off of there. But wanted to talk to you because we're in a very unique time right now. It's a unique time, it's a trying time. And one of the things that the Lord is putting on my heart is spiritual excellence, of growing spiritually and creating and putting together a system and a plan of reading the Holy Bible, praying, and really being mindful of where we are operating from, because there are tests in life and things that come to us, that happen, that really challenge and try us. And if we're not mindful, we'll operate from the wrong place. If we're not mindful, we will operate from a place of frustration, from a place of anger, from a place of bitterness or fear or jealousy or hurt, pain. And we got to get to a place to where we really become a representation. And I do everything I can not to look down my nose at people, to walk in my faith, to stand on my beliefs, to stand by my beliefs, but not judge people, not condemn people, but at the same time be real about who I am and what I believe. And it's not easy. It's not easy. And the thing about it is people will be looking at us, and they'll be looking for room and looking for a reason to get us to, they'll be looking to find fault. They'll be looking to find a way and find an area that we aren't living the right way. They'll be looking in, hey, well, you did this or you said that. And then that'll justify to them that they can keep doing and living how they living. And that's what people want to see sometimes. They want to see that flaw. They looking for that flaw. They looking for that breakdown. And you got to be mindful of that. And that's why the Bible said don't be a hindrance to your brethren. So it's like, if you drink alcohol and you can control your alcohol, and you're not a drunkard, and you're not going into sin on that alcohol and blaming it on the alcohol like Jamie Foxx, then you know, okay, I can have me a little, what I call Jesus juice, that wine. He turned water into wine. They used to drink wine in the Bible. So you have me a little bit of this juice, but if you coming online and you drinking that juice, and then you getting belligerent, and you talking reckless, or you drinking that juice and then you acting reckless, now you in sin, because now you are a hindrance to your brethren. Because now you're not taking just yourself down, you taking somebody else down. Now you could be pulling somebody else from God, because they have an addiction to alcohol. So when they see their mentor, they see their life coach, their spiritual coach, their spiritual mother, their spiritual father, spiritual brother or sister indulging in something that is addiction forming, now they say, well, why did I give that up if my spiritual compadre over here uses that? So now it's like, I remember it was a dynamic life coach, and we had the same client, and I was with my client, and then we was at a location at a hotel, and my client saw somebody that was related to the life coach, the dynamic life coach, and we went to the room. We went to the room where the dynamic life coach was, and when the coach opened the door, we got hit by a whiff of cigarette smoke. Now, me being a former drug dealer and coming from around that stuff, I see cigarette smokers different. So when you smoke a cigarette, that's a deep implication of something, and it's just not a good look. And so immediately I'm like, wow, this coach doing deep dives into people's life and getting people together, but she dying from a nicotine addiction. And I was like, it's interesting. But at the same time, I can't judge, because I might have been drinking too much juice, like real juice, like lemonade, or soda, and that'll mess you up too. So that's what I'm talking about, spiritual excellence. We got to come to that place and get that understanding and say, okay, where am I operating from? How am I operating? What am I doing? What I got going on right now? Okay, what do I have going on, and what loose ends do I need to get tightened up? What do I need to change? What areas do I need to grow in? Where do I need to be better? Who do I need to surround myself with? And what am I getting from this? So see, if I say, hey, I want to reach out to this sister, and I want us to connect once a week, and I want us to connect, if my spirit say, hey, I want us to connect because she's sowing into my ministry, and I want her to keep sowing into my ministry, so I want to make sure I talk with her 30 minutes every week, that's conniving. That's scandalous, because the root of it is wrong. That's not spiritual excellence. Now, and so if you take and you say, oh, well, I want to hire this life coach, but the root of you want to hire that life coach is because of how that coach looks. You think that coach is handsome, or you think that coach is fine, or you think that coach is pretty or sexy, or that trainer, you say you want to work on your body, you want to get a little bit of that meat off your bones, but you go and pick a trainer that look like he or she done stepped out of magazine, and you deeply attracted, strongly attracted to this person. That's not spiritual excellence. You operating from the wrong place. And I have to check that. I got to check that. And we as humans have to check that. So I may say, oh, I don't answer DMs, but then see a beautiful woman in the DM and go to you know what? Jesus let people touch the hem of his garment. Who am I to not be accessible? I need to start answering these DMs. And in my spiritual walk, there will be times that I would do that. That I would answer the DM of a beautiful woman and then get convicted, and then have to answer the DM of women that I did not think was beautiful, just to try to trick God and say, well, Lord, you see, I'm answering for everybody, not just a beautiful woman. But you can't fool God. And now listen, when I'm transparent with y'all like this here, don't be taking what I'm telling you that you would not otherwise know, and then be preaching to me in the comments. I already know the error of the way. That's why I'm sharing it, so that you realize that this everybody challenged, everybody tested. That's why I share that, so that you understand I ain't sitting high looking low and talking down to you. I'm out here in the trenches with you, being tempted and tested and tried by the adversary too. So understand that right there. Get that in your spirit now. And so this how the test come. So when you look at spiritual excellence, it's going to be on your job. It's going to be in your parenting if you got kids. It's going to be in if you got nieces and nephews. It's going to be because, and see, this is the thing, spiritual excellence. You got to make sure that you checking that spirit. You could have a handsome nephew that you think is gorgeous. You think your nephew is so handsome, so you take and you so sweet to him, you nice to him, you buy him Jordans, but then your niece, you giving her old nappy head heifer energy. You treat her like a nappy head heifer. I'm saying that like my grandma used to say. Now, y'all forgive me if that offended you. You treat her like that, and that's because of where you operating from. Guess what? Me being a, oh no, that car was about to go straight, and that's the turn signal. Boy, look here. On that phone. See, I be talking about people on their phone. I'm on my phone, but I ain't looking at the phone. I'm just talking on that phone. And so I remember growing up, my grandma gave me special treatment. Why, I don't know. But she gave me special treatment. But guess what? I had one thing that none of the rest of my cousins had. I had hazel eyes. And what they'll call it gray eyes. And sometimes they'll say your eyes orange today. And so I had a unique look. That could have been part of the reason. And my cousins, they looked totally different. That could have been part of the reason. I was one of the only boys. Well, it was other boys, but some of the other, my cousins, none of them was from a two-parent household. All of them, their parent that they lived with sometimes, because most of the time they would live with my grandma, was an addict. So that could have been part of the reason. But when spiritual excellence will tell you, treat all your nieces and nephews the same. Treat all your grandsons and granddaughters the same. Treat all your children the same. You could have a child that come from somebody that you hate their guts. And then you could have another child that come from somebody that you okay with. So the child that comes from somebody that did you wrong, dogged you out, mistreated you, you treat them nasty. The child, you feel like you didn't choose that child. You feel like you got pregnant, or you got a woman pregnant and it was you wasn't ready. So you resent the child. But then you have another child that you was praying for a child and you had that child. And so that child is your token child. That's your golden child. And you don't treat them the same. And so you got to check that. And I've been like that for my oldest and my youngest. My oldest, I had him when I was real young. I was a nasty person. I was rude and nasty. So I saw him differently. When I had my youngest, I think I was 30 years old. I was way more mature. So I saw him differently, and the Lord had to check me. The Lord had to remind me, hey, don't chastise your oldest and then not chastise your youngest. Don't be sweet and nice and affirming to your youngest and not be sweet and nice and affirming to your oldest. Spiritual excellence. When I say spiritual excellence, I'm not talking about just living righteous. I'm talking about evaluating your spirit. And is your spirit in a place of excellence? Is your spirit coming from a place of excellence? Or are you operating with a junky or messy spirit? If you operate with a junky or messy spirit, you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong, and you're not operating in spiritual excellence. And that's what I want you to think about. And I want you to think about this with me, because I'm going to be challenging myself in this area. But we got to think about this all day long. We got to think about this with everything. So when I'm finna go home, be thinking about, okay, when your wife start talking, put your phone down. I know these comments getting good now. I know these grown boys coming at you. I know these grown girls trying you, coming at you wrong. But listen, your wife is talking. So because your wife is talking, put your phone down, look her in the face, actively listen, and remember, she is your first ministry. After your wife, your sons is your second ministry. Then your purpose to these people is your third ministry. Make sure you got this in line now. And now somewhere in there I can move the numbers down, because got to focus on me too. Eating right, working out, sleeping right, that's a ministry too. And so listen, I hope this helped you. I hope this convict you where it need to convict you, challenge you and push you. You ain't got to, don't get mad, don't run from the truth, don't run from the smoke, don't make excuses. Man up, woman up, and let's make it happen. Let's be better, let's grow, let's change, let's heal, let's be excellent. That's what this about. A lot of people think, oh, this just relationship talk to pander. No, this about us being better humans. We ain't just talking relationships all the time. We talk life too. This about being the whole person, not just in a relationship or in love. This about being the whole person, because a relationship may never come. So does that mean your life should suffer just because you don't go into a relationship? God called you to do the work like Apostle Paul, like Moses. Do that mean your life should suffer and you should be spiritually bankrupt just because you don't have a partner in your life? No, we got to be excellent around the board. Hey, this is Tony Gasson. God bless you. We will talk soon.